blazing away in Calder, leaving a trail of competitors. Ribbons for Ryafan. All this coming up this week on Horses and Courses.
The Off-Track Betting Communications Network presents Horses and Courses, OTB's Thoroughbred News with your host, Jack Wolfeseater. And now, with a look at this week's news in the thoroughbred industry, here's Jack.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. And as you see by our backdrop, it is that time. Breeders' Cup this coming Saturday afternoon out at Hollywood Park, the Day of Champions. We gave you the pre-entered horses on last week's show, and as of this taping, we've already had two very, very important defections. One illness and one injury. Formal Gold, of course, has a condylar fracture of his left hind leg and will not be able to compete in the Classic. Just a heartbreaking loss for owner John Murphy. They'll insert a couple of screws and he'll be able to race again next year. But just an awful time. Well, any time is an awful time for an injury, but on the eve of the Breeders' Cup, just catastrophic. And then Silver Maiden, the undefeated 2-year-old filly from Arlington, was pre-entered at a cost of $40,000. She contracted a virus out at Hollywood Park, been fighting that, and she's not going to be able to compete in the juvenile fillies. The good news here on the local front is that Barron's had his final tune-up for trainer Jim Bond this past Saturday morning at Saratoga, breezing 3/4 of a mile over the Oklahoma training track in 1:15.3, and then about 45 minutes later or so, Carriel, Jim Bond's entrant in the juvenile fillies, went a nice easy 5/8 in 1:03 flat. So both of the local horses ready to roll on into Hollywood Park this week for the Breeders' Cup on Saturday. We'll talk much more about the Breeders' Cup in the notes portion of the show. We do have some races from around the country for you on this week's program. Let's start off going down to Calder. 3-year-olds in the Calder Derby on Saturday afternoon. Mile and a furlong on the Calder main track, $150,000, the guaranteed purse. Here's Phil Saltzman with the call of the Calder Derby.
They're all in the gate. And they're off in the Calder Derby. And on the inside, Royal Tune-Up breaks sharply and moves for the lead. Topaz Runner moves up next. Then toward the inside, it's Blazing Sword. Next comes the other half of the entry, Frank T. Length back to the outside, that's Alaskan Lights. Next comes Envy of the Crown. 4 Cryval's at the rail. Then comes Hamilton Creek. Length back, it's Gold Book. And 5 lengths back to the slow-starting Otay Bucky. They move around the clubhouse turn, and it's Royal Tune-Up playing Catch Me If You Can. He opens up 2. At the rail, Blazing Sword now second. Then comes the entry of Topaz Runner and Frank T. There's 3 lengths back to Alaskan Lights. Another length between horses, that's Hamilton Creek. Then toward the outside, Envy of the Crown. Length back to the rail, it's 4 Cryval. Another length, that's Gold Book. And 10 lengths back to Otay Bucky. They went the half in 48-1 after an opening quarter of 23-3. They moved to the half-mile pole. From between horses, it's still Royal Tune-Up in front by a half length. It's Topaz Runner forcing the pace second. Length and a half to the outside. Frank T just inside of him, Blazing Sword. Then it's 3 lengths back to the rail. That's Alaskan Lights on the outside, Envy of the Crown. Another length and a half back to the inside. That's 4 Cryval. 3/4 in 1:12-4. The field moves to the quarter pole. On the inside, Royal Tune-Up on the outside, Topaz Runner. To the far outside, Blazing Sword comes after the leader's third. They're at the top of the stretch. Royal Tune-Up's had enough. Topaz Runner on the outside. Here comes the favorite, Blazing Sword. They move to the 8th pole. Blazing Sword down the middle of the track now gets the lead, moves off by a length and a half. Topaz Runner toward the inside. Royal Tune-Up finding some more. They come to the 16th pole. It's Blazing Sword home free. He's going to take the Calder Derby. On the inside, it's Royal Tune-Up. On the outside, Topaz Runner.
Well, here's Blazing Sword, sent off at 3-5, and rightly so. My goodness, this guy's been running against the best 3-year-olds in the country all year long. The Travers, Super Derby, Hawthorne Derby. Now comes down to Calder and finds a field that he can really whip up on and gets the nice 3-length score. Gary Belanger in the irons. We got a dead heat for the place spot. Royal Tune-Up and Topaz Runner tied for the place position. Blazing Sword blazing away down into the Calder sunshine in 1:53 seconds on the button. All right, up to Laurel for a look at their racing action on Saturday and Sunday, and Election Day as well. First up, 2-year-olds in the Laurel Futurity Saturday afternoon. They're at 1 mile and a furlong now for these juveniles. The purse on the Futurity, it's $100,000 in guaranteed monies. Let's take a look. Here's Dave Rodman with the call.
And they're off in the Laurel Futurity. Hustled out of there, Fight for Milady from the inside gate, and Fight for Milady going to clear the field by about 2.5 lengths of the first turn. Carnivorous Habit under the far outside is Eastern Glow, and Victory Gallop will settle in between. Essential has been taken to the rail, and Vickert is last of all, some 8 lengths off the lead. Fight for Milady has managed to clear about 4 lengths from Carnivorous Habit, who's second by a length. Essential Victory Gallop is traveling in fourth, some 5 lengths off the pacemaker, 1.5 lengths more. Second last, we have Eastern Glow and Vickert outrun at this point, some 9 off the lead. Racing up the backstretch, a moderate pace going here for Fight for Milady, and Carlos Marquez Jr. trying to control it. It is Carnivorous Habit who's second by a 1/2 length. Essential racing third at the rail. Victory Gallop now picks up some momentum from fourth, just 4 lengths from the lead. Eastern Glow and Vickert is far back. Heading on to the far turn, the pace is slowed up here for Fight for Milady as the others get a little closer to that slow pace set for Fight for Milady. Carnivorous Habit, Essential. Victory Gallop remains fourth with 3 lengths to close in. The others not doing much into the far turn. Fight for Milady still going strong. Fight for Milady from Carnivorous Habit. Essential ridden along at the rail. A 3-wide Victory Gallop is sent up there in that second flight, coming toward the quarter pole, top of the stretch. And it's Fight for Milady leading the way, 2.5 lengths. Victory Gallop extreme outside, and Essential in the orange cap. Turning for home, and it's Fight for Milady splashing home 2.5 lengths. Essential and Victory Gallop is under a drive as well. But Fight for Milady is full of run. Fight for Milady, solo speed going all the way in the Laurel Futurity. Fight for Milady and Carlos Marquez Jr. putting the whip away and looking around for competition, but none to be found for Fight for Milady. Essential and Victory Gallop vying for second. Victory Gallop gets second. Essential was third.
Fight for Milady. Carlos Marquez in the irons gets the score. 3 out of 4 starts are winners. Was second recently at Colonial for the only blemish on Fight for Milady's record. This is a wire job here. They can't catch him. 1.5 lengths as he is eased as they are crossing the finish line. Fit to Fight, offspring trained by Ben Perkins Jr. And it's a New York bred. How about that? Congratulations for Fight for Milady when Carlos Marquez winning the Laurel Futurity. Victory Gallop got the second money. Essential finishes third. 1:53.3 the running time for the Laurel Futurity's Fight for Milady. Now on Sunday afternoon, the Salima was run. This is for the 2-year-old fillies. Again, 100 grander at 9 panels. And boy, the rains were just rolling in over the weekend. Here we go with the splashy call and Dave Rodman with the Salima.
And they're off. Copeland's Angel headed down to the front. Here's Pyrite Place, and Mercy Me was some early foot as well, and Dixie Two-Star from the outside gate settles into the 4th spot. Down inside we have the favorite. Clark Street is up close to the pace around that first turn, floating very wide as Wild Goose Chase has dropped back last. Elusive Partners along the rail back there as well. Heading around that turn, and it's Pyrite Place. Pyrite Place going to make the pace here a little more than 1 length from Mercy Me second. Prado has Clark Street, the favorite filly, in third. Copeland's Angel is right alongside of her in 4th, just 3.5 off the lead. Elusive Partner and Dixie Two-Stars drop back second to last position, and Wild Goose Chase trails only 6 lengths, covers the entire field. Up the backstretch you go to the 5 ace, and it's Pyrite Place and Rick Wilson going in on his pace up front, leading it by 1.5 lengths from Mercy Me, and Clark Street third by a head. Copeland's Angel right there in 4th. It's another 3 lengths to Dixie Two-Star. In the back we have Elusive Partner and Wild Goose Chase. They're still about 6 or 7 lengths from Pyrite Place. Pyrite Place passing the half-mile marker, 1.25 lengths from Mercy Me. Now Copeland's Angel on the outside going to try to quicken on, and Clark Street is still there to the inside of her, and they're just 2 lengths off the lead, and both in with a big shot to win it. Now Clark Street might need a little bit of racing room. They're midway on the turn. Mercy Me up to Pyrite Place, Copeland's Angel. It's Clark Street in 4th and under a ride now. She's got to do a little better than that. She's 2 lengths off the lead under the whip, and to the inside is Dixie Two-Star. Turning for home, and it's Mercy Me, the leader from Copeland's Angel. Clark Street is third, and toward the inside now. Here comes Clark Street. She's found the room she needs. It's Clark Street down to the inside. In between is Mercy Me. To the center of the track, Copeland's Angel, and Clark Street now in the final furlong begins to take off from the field. Clark Street on the sloppy going in the Salima will stroll to victory. Clark Street by 6 lengths from Mercy Me second. It's going to be closer for third. Copeland's Angel third. Dixie Two-Star fourth.
Well, here's Clark Street. She doesn't mind with the conditions down at Laurel on Sunday. She strolls to a 6-length score. Edgar Prado in the irons, another 3 to 5 shot. She's by Cox's Ridge and trained by Bill Badgett. She broke her maiden last time out by 12 lengths, and here she goes with another daylight score. So she's a good one, trained by Bill Badgett. Mercy Me and Copeland's Angel, they'll be second and third. Boy, the time there, though, nothing to write home about, but 2-year-olds on that track, that can be excused. 1:56 seconds flat. All right, on Election Day, Tuesday, down in Maryland, we had the Laurel Dash 6-furlong scheduled turf race. $100,000, the guaranteed purse on the race for our older horses. Again, in Laurel, here's Dave Rodman with the call.
Top of the lane, 3 of them across the track. Wise Dusty, Aberfoyle, and Star Trace. Capture the Gold is racing at the rail, and a Pink Skier is second last, down to the last furlong. And Wise Dusty still hanging in tough from Aberfoyle and Star Trace. Appealing Skier is beaten. Wise Dusty and Oscar Mencia charging to the line in the Laurel Dash. Wise Dusty from Aberfoyle. Wise Dusty wins it by a neck.
Wise Dusty, a wire job on Tuesday. Oscar Mancilla in the irons for the half-length score, sent off at the nice 19-to-1 odds for a little $18 ticket on Wise Dusty, winner of the Mario Bonito over at Penn National time before last. Aberfoyle and Star Trace second and third. The time for the Laurel Dash on a fast main track, the turf course still too soft to be used, 1:11 and 2. Okay, from Maryland, let's come up to East Rutherford and go to Halloween evening at the Meadowlands. And boy, how about this? The Witch's Brew. There you go. On Halloween, a 5-furlong turf sprint here for the fillies and mares. $40,000 in guaranteed purse monies. Is Dave Johnson at the Meadowlands with the call of the Witch's Brew.
And they're off. Strand of Glitter was off a step slowly. That Slavic Light to the front by a head. Bilkin Lass is right there, moving through on the inside. Big City Bound. Incredible Revenge up with the leaders. Down the back stretch. Eric Jones takes Slavic Light out to a 1-length advantage. Incredible Revenge on the outside, second by half a length. Big City Bound along the inside, steadied there for a moment, is third at this point by a head. Cupid's Revenge with the red cap on the outside is fourth and moving up after a quick opening quarter of 21 3/5 seconds. Then comes Seeking Justice. They're in the stretch. It's Slavic Light in front with Incredible Revenge coming on second. Middle of the racetrack, Cupid's Revenge at the inside, Big City Bound. In deep stretch, Incredible Revenge on the outside, Slavic Light, Incredible Revenge.
Well, a nice Halloween treat at the Meadowlands on Halloween as Incredible Revenge and Elena Sheridan get a head victory, sent off at 2-1, beating Slavic Light, and Cupid's Revenge got the third money. Very quick time before the rains came in, 56-4, one of the few grass races on the East Coast over the weekend was at the Meadowlands on Halloween, with Incredible Revenge getting it in the time of 56 4/5 of a second. All right, the rains did show up on Saturday. We've got two stakes for you from East Rutherford. First up, the Rushing Man Stakes at 1 mile and 70 yards. $40,000, the guaranteed purse. These are 3-year-olds. Again, here's Dave with the call.
At the inside, Laylo Halo. Straightening away in the lane. A Little Luck leads them all into the lane by 2 lengths now. From the inside, Laylo Halo with Dean Butler coming on in the late stages. It's A Little Luck, and on the inside, Laylo Halo. Those two to the wire. Photo finish.
A Little Luck, Louis Rivera Jr. in the irons gets the victory. This guy won the Princeton recently at the Meadowlands and has been second in the slop a couple of times. So handled the off-going just fine, thank you, and gets the stakes win by a nose. Laylo Halo finishing in the second spot. Felix the Cat finishing in the show position. A Little Luck. Get some luck on Saturday, going the mile 70 and 1:42 and 3. All right, Fillies and Mares was scheduled to go on the grass in the Montclair State College Stakes, the other co-feature Saturday evening at 1 mile and 1/16. Again, we have a $40,000 purse on the race, but of course, as we just saw, the track was a mess, no turf racing. Let's take a look as they splash around the oval. Is Dave's call.
Turning for home. It's Hokey Cokey taking command, but on the inside, now Pumpkin Pie battles back. From the extreme outside, here comes Swing to the Beat, who's gaining with every stride. And Clarify at the rail. Clarify finds room, moves through. Clarify on the inside has the lead. A late move from Friendly Debbie.
Clarify, Cici Lopez in the irons takes the inside trip and rolls to a 2-length score. This gal has had 3 seconds in the slop, so another one that handles the off-going very, very nicely. Friendly Debbie was second, and Swing to the Beat got the show spot here, but Clarify, taking the inside route and loving the off-going, goes the mile and a 16th in 1:44 and 3. All right, let's take our first break here. When we come out to break, we've got action this week from Hawthorne, Churchill Downs. We'll go out to Bay Meadows. We've got a couple of very nice turf races out at Santa Anita. And we've got the Aqueduct action as well, and a very, very important race from down under, the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Much, much more to come. Don't go away. Be right back after these messages.
Catch the official Breeders' Cup simulcast live from Hollywood Park Saturday, November 8th. Watch, wager, and be part of the Breeders' Cup excitement when the best thoroughbreds from around the world compete in 7 championship races. Get in on all the Breeders' Cup action at a simulcast outlet in your area, live via satellite, Saturday, November 8th. The official Breeders' Cup simulcast. It's your winning ticket to racing's biggest day.
Who is this woman? A world-class tennis player? A famous fashion model? No, this is Diane Nelson, one of the nation's top-ranked jockeys. When Diane rides, she wants the best horse. And when Diane has a day off, she wants the best entertainment. And that's at the Teletheater Clubhouse.
If you haven't been to the Teletheater Clubhouse yet, you're missing something. It's really for everyone. Bring your friends, your family, and come on down.
The Teletheater Clubhouse, Central Avenue, Albany.
All right, at Churchill Downs over the weekend, we had our 2-year-olds, the Colts and the Phillies, in action in the Iroquois and the Pocahontas, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday was the Iroquois. They both had a flat mile, $100,000 added purse on both races. Let's take a look. Here are the Colts and Kurt Becker with the call.
Matching strides, Keen Dancer now takes to the far outside. He's 1 length off the lead in third. Yarrow Bray is fourth and 2 lengths from the lead. Then Dawn Exodus. Homeward comes to the 8th pole with a short lead, chased by Keen Dancer and Yarrow Bray, who's third toward the inside, then Dawn Exodus. At the 16th pole, Keen Dancer gets the lead. Now he begins to draw clear. Keen Dancer comes to the line to win it by 2.5.
Keen Dancer, Pat Day in the irons, 3-length score, sent off at 3-1. David Carroll sends this guy out 3 in a row, and this guy has been going all over the place. Turf at Retama, the dirt at Louisiana Downs, the slop at Churchill Downs now. Broke his maiden for 50,000 claimers at Hollywood Park. Keen Dancer, you put him in a race and he just runs. Very, very nice developing 2-year-old for David Carroll and Pat Day. Yarrow Bray was second. Dawn Exodus finished in the show position. Keen Dancer, mile at Churchill on Saturday, 1:37 and 4. All right, the 2-year-old fillies in the Pocahontas mile Sunday afternoon, and again more slop as this storm we had over the weekend really played havoc with the racing all over the mid-Atlantic region, in the east here and in the mid-east as well. Let's take a look. Again, here's Kurt with the call of the Pocahontas.
And they're off. Key Echo was off a step slowly, but now here's Rave moving up to get the early lead, and Lake Huron, the other part of the entry, will join her up front in the opening strides, as Dubai is also up close on the far outside, then So Generous and Mission Park. Moving on to the main track, Rave has the lead by 1.5 lengths. Lake Huron is second to 1/2 length. So Generous moving up third toward the inside. Dubai is fourth on the outside 1/2 length. Then Mission Park, who's tucked away toward the rail. Key Echo now moving up in between horses, just over 3 lengths off the leader. 2 more to Ms. Emma Lou, a gap of 3 more lengths then to Flower Canyon, JJ Ball of Fire, and Southern Magic is last, the quarter in 22 and 3, the half in 46 and 1. Rave leads the field onto the far turn. Lake Huron 1 length away in second, and now Ms. Emma Lou goes very wide on the turn with Dubai, as So Generous stays toward the inside, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Key Echo is still 5 from the front as they move by the quarter pole, and so is Mission Park. Into the stretch, the entry still 1-2. Lake Huron getting a short lead from Rave. Mission Park is running third and running very fast toward the rail. At the 8th pole, Mission Park bursting through to get the lead, and instantly she's clear by 5 at the 16th pole. Mission Park is simply astounding in the stretch run, and Mission Park wins the Pocahontas.
Mission Park, Calvin Burrell took the inside at the top of the stretch and just blows this field away. Very impressive score by this Daughter of Dixieland band. Make it 8 or 9 lengths here, as they just cannot keep with her in the stretch, and she handled that off going just fine. Thank you very much. Pete Vestal is the trainer here. This is her 6th lifetime start. 2 wins, 3 seconds, and a 3rd. Another very nice juvenile here is Mission Park. Rave will be second best. So Generous got the show money, 138 and 2. running time for Mission Park's Pocahontas score on Sunday. All right, let's go over to Chicago. Take a look at the the Robert F. Carey Memorial Hawthorne Mile on Saturday afternoon. It is on the grass, $150,000 in guaranteed purse money for our older horses. Here's Kevin Gomer at Hawthorne with the call.
And they're off. Good start for all. Joker hustling for the lead from the inside. Up on the outside, that is Power of Opinion. And on the extreme outside is Canyon Run. It is Joker and Power of Opinion. Those two lead onto the clubhouse turn. Pleasant 2 down at the rail is away in third. Canyon Run up on the outside is fourth. Mayumbe down at the rail is running in fifth. And then on the outside, Trail City, Chrysalis House, and Da Bull trail the field. Rounding the turn, going to the backstretch, and they're being led by the longest shot in the field, Power of Opinion. Power of Opinion on top by a length. Pleasant 2 angled off the rail is moving to the outside to attack from second. Down at the rail is Joker running in third. Canyon Run completes the first 4. Mayumbe is running fifth at the rail. Trail City is positioned just as outside, running in 6. Chrysalis House is next, and Da Bull continues to trail, but Da Bull is only 10 off of the lead of Power of Opinion. The opening quarter in 24-1. Halftime was 47 seconds flat. And as they start around the far turn, Power of Opinion leads the way. Pleasant 2 on the outside is applying a little more pressure from second. They have left Joker 2 lengths back in third. Mayumbe gets through on the inside. He's coming on from fourth. Canyon Run drops out of it fifth. Chrysalis House taking his chances down at the rail in 6. Trail City's just not doing enough at this point as they come off the turn and straighten for home. It is Power of Opinion still there. Now Trail City kicks into gear, and with long, powerful strides, he's gobbling up ground, running down long shot, Power of Opinion. And Trail City is going to deliver on that 4-5 promise in the Carey Memorial. It's Trail City all alone. Trail City wins by 5.
Well, leaving a trail of opponents in his wake is Trail City. Jerry Bailey getting the call for Bill Mott. 5-length score. This guy was second recently at Keeneland in that Keeneland Breeders' Cup Mile. Sent off at 4-5 here at Hawthorne and just blows the field away. Power of Opinion and Da Bull, they'll place and show here. But it is Trail City, very impressive, going the mile in 1:36 seconds flat. All right, staying in the mid-east area from Chicago. Let's go over to Detroit, Ladbroke Detroit Race Course on Saturday afternoon. They had the Frontier Handicap, mile and a furlong for the older horses, $50,000 in guaranteed monies. Dwight Alexander at Detroit has the call.
They come past the 3/8 pole, and Pongo Boy moving up to challenge Cowboys Discount. These two are now heads apart, and Pongo Boy has a short lead. Brave Miner trying to stick with them in third. 3/4 in 1:11-2, and it is Pongo Boy on the outside. Cowboys Discount still hanging in there, closest to the rail. He's racing in second position as they come to the top of the stretch. Pongo Boy looking to win again, begins to edge away. Cowboys Discount is hanging in there in second. Exclusive Imp is charging hard under a left-handed whip on the outside, and Exclusive Imp, the 3-year-old, is powering up to grab the lead. Pongo Boy is back in second. Exclusive Imp pulls off the upset in the Frontier Handicap.
Exclusive Imp, Tom Horton in the irons, rolls to a 2-length victory, and ting, 18-1, a $38 ticket on Exclusive Imp. It's his second in a row. This Son of Majesty's Imp, a Michigan bred, trained by Reed Gross, gets the victory. Pongo Boy finishing second. Cowboys Discount will be the show finisher. Exclusive Imp going the 9 panels in Detroit, Michigan, 1:51-1. All right, back to the grass. In California, back to the grass. San Mateo at Bay Meadows, the Hillsborough Handicap was Saturday afternoon's featured race. Mile and a furlong, $100,000, the guaranteed purse. And these are the fillies and mares, and what a finish we've got here. Let's go out to Bay Meadows and Paul Allen's description of the Hillsborough.
They're all set for the Hillsboro Handicap. And they're racing. Staffen made a left turn out of the starting gate. Take Her to Heart shows early speed, so too does the gray Dela. Then it's Princess Callie, and Capilano flies in front of us to grab the early lead. Staffen relaxes in fifth to be 5 lengths off the slow early pace. Viger's Destiny is 7 lengths behind her entry mate. After that, we have Young and Daring and Christopher Street. 1 lap to go in the Hillsboro Handicap, and Capilano and Jake Barton show the way by a length. Take Her to Heart is second. The defending champ, Princess Callie, is third. Then it's Dela, 3/4 of a length clear from Staffen. To the outside of Staffen is Viger's Destiny. Young and Daring has the yellow sleeves, 8 lengths from the lead and 2 clear from Christopher Street. Up the Bay Meadows backstretch in the Hillsboro, and the leader still is Capilano. Take Her to Heart cuts the margin to a neck. Then it's Princess Callie, Dela, Staffen, and Viger's Destiny. Those 6 separated by 4. They're teaming up on Capilano now. Then we come back to Young and Daring, and Christopher Street can see them all. The pace still is pedestrian as they go into the far turn. Take Her to Heart and Capilano travel in perfect harmony. Princess Callie in a beautiful spot in third. Dela to the inside, then it's Staffen and Viger's Destiny. Young and Daring is just 4 lengths out of it. She's beginning to make a move, and Christopher Street continues to trail. They go to the top of the lane. Take Her to Heart leads. Capilano is stopping, then it's Princess Callie. Staffen is shifting to the outside, 3 lengths off. Dela right in the thick of it. Then it's Viger's Destiny. Young and Daring just behind the lead. The final furlong, and the leader is Take Her to Heart. Dela flies on the inside. Princess Callie right there. Then it's Staffen down to the final 16. Take Her to Heart, Dela, Princess Callie, 3 in a line. Young and Daring. What a great Hillsboro. Take Her to Heart. Yes!
Take Her to Heart. A next score at Alberto Delgadillo in the irons. This gal won the Los Altos at Bay Meadows on the grass, then came back last time out and was second in a dirt stake. Now moves back to the grass and gets the win, set off at 9-2. Princess Callie gave it everything she could, just couldn't hold off. The winner has to settle for the placing. Dela gets the third money. Take Her to Heart goes the mile and a furlong in 1:48 seconds on the button. All right, moving down the coast a little bit to Arcadia as the Oak Tree meeting is winding down. The Carlton F. Burke on the grass at 1.5 miles was Saturday's featured race at Santa Anita. $125,000 guaranteed purse on the Burke, older horses, of course, and just pay close attention to David Flores, as he has a little bit of a problem, and Trevor really gives us a nice picture of it as well. Here we go with the call of the Burke on Saturday at Santa Anita.
Heel for the Carlton F. Burke, sent on their journey. They came out in a perfect line. Conber is quickest into stride. On the outside comes Prussian Blue, and then back to Embraceable You in third. Top Glory pulling hard down at the rail. Lord Hine is racing on the outside of horses, 4 lengths off the leaders, and Kesem Power bringing up the back of a packed field. Coming around to the top of the stretch, first time round, and Conver down at the rail, and Prussian Blue. Not in any hurry, just taking them along slowly in the early part. Embraceable You is on a tight hold right there, third. Top Glory's very keen to go on, tugging hard down at the rail as Top Glory. Lord Hine has the white cap, racing back in fifth, just 4 lengths off these leaders. Security Code in the orange second last, and Kesem Power bringing up the rear. Still no pace on as they come past the stands first time round. Top Glory, the saddle has slipped right forward here. Not surprisingly, he was pulling so hard early, and the saddle slipped forward. Now the rider has no alternative but to just let Top Glory stride along. He has little control up there, just a matter of staying on him now. Top Glory almost out of control up front. Racing in second is Prussian Blue, and then Embraceable You racing in third. Conver is right there in fourth, and there's Lord Hine now back second last, 7 lengths off that second place runner. And then we come back to Security Code in the orange colours, and Kesem Power last. Top Glory going wide out into the turn there, as we say. It's more just a matter of staying on board here for the rider. David Flores has taken him right to the outside. Down at the rail we have Prussian Blue, now virtually the leader. Racing in second comes Embraceable You, and then a big gap is 6 back to Conver. Lord Hine has the white cap on the outside, and down at the rail is Security Code. Kesem Power still trailing 10 lengths off them. Past the half mile they go, and Top Glory, the rider's kicked his feet out the irons now, and Top Glory, the rider, just riding Ulster Fashion style now. He's gone on to lead by a length and a half. Prussian Blue is racing second, and now Lord Hine making his run. And Lord Hine on the outside, Converse in with a shot, and Kessam Power now coming to get involved as well as Security Codes dropped out last. They bunch up as they come to the top of the lane. Prussian Blue down at the rail. Conver is running a good one. Lord Hine is caught wide, but right there. Down at the rail, Embraceable You looking desperately for a way through, as is Kessam Power. They come for home. Embraceable You in the red cap coming home gamely at the rail. Prussian Blue, Lord Hine on the outside, then Conver and Kessam Power. Homeward bound now, and Prussian Blue hanging on. Embraceable You. Embraceable You. They hit the wire, I believe. Prussian Blue, one of the nose. Embraceable You second, and
Well, David Flores certainly had an adventure in that race, as Trevor painted quite a description of Flores doing a nice bit of horsemanship too, kicking out of the irons and trying to settle the runner, and then getting actually back in the irons and trying to get a piece of it, but just outrun through the stretch. Not much you can do when the saddle slips like that, but hats off to David Flores for a very excellent effort in the Burke on Saturday afternoon. No problems with Prussian Blue, though, and DeSormo as they get up in time for a nose victory over Embraceable You, a horse that they had dusted by some 7 or 8 lengths last time the two met in Europe. So the Europeans finish 1-2 here in the Burke, just a nose separating them. Prussian Blue, 5-year-old son of Polish Navy, a Kentucky bred racing in Europe. Embraceable You, a French bred. Kessam Power was the third finisher. Prussian Blue and DeSormo go the 1.5 miles in 2:31 and 1. Now on Sunday afternoon, the Oak Tree Derby, one of the co-features. This race formerly the Valente handicap, so it may be a little familiar to you all. It's 1 1/8 miles on the grass course, 3-year-olds of course. $250,000 in guaranteed purse monies. Again, let's take a look. Here's Trevor with the call.
They're all set. And away they go. Flying with Eagles broke inwards, bumping with Fabulous Guy. The inside of the track, at Steel Ruler is going to lead them. Flying with Eagles in the white cap right there. On the grandstand side is Voyager's Quest. No pace on early here. Belgravia is racing back at joint fourth. Inside of that comes Early Colony in the white cap. Lasting Approval, the grey at the rail, and Fabulous Guy on a stranglehold last. Past the stands first time round. They're just going along a half pace. No speed. Flying with Eagles the leader. Steel Ruler on the inside of that is right there in second. In third comes Voyager's Quest. Then we come back to Early Colony in the white cap, racing fourth, 4.5 off that leader. Up alongside of that is Belgravia. They've been followed by Lasting Approval, the grey at the rail, and Fabulous Guy still on a tight hole. 6 lengths would cover the whole Derby field. Onto the backstretch they go, and Jerry Bailey dictates the pace here with Flying with Eagles. Quicken them just a little now. He leads it by a length. Steel Ruler is racing in second, and Voyager's Quest in the blue right there third. Early Colony racing in fourth, and Lasting Approval begins to make ground down at the rail. Alongside Belgravia and Fabulous Guy, there's no more than 5 lengths separating the entire Derby field. Less than a half mile to run. Flying with Eagles the leader. Steel Ruler is racing second. Then it's Voyager's Quest in the blue. Early Colony at the rail. They're turning it into a sprint for home now. Behind that is Belgravia, and Lasting Approval is 8 lengths off them. At the top of the lane, and Flying with Eagles in the blinkers goes on for home. Flying with Eagles finding more, a length in front. Steel Ruler running a big one. Flying with Eagles just shifted in there. Steel Ruler. Now here comes Voyager's Quest on the outside, and Early Colony in the white cap. Any one of 4. Lasting Approval make that 5. They come for home. Lasting Approval flying. Lasting Approval. Lasting Approval. Voyager's Quest and Early.
Lasting Approval. Alex Solis in the irons. A length score here with Jerry Bailey just crawling early, and then Alex Solis realizing that, hey, Bailey may be able to do that at Belmont. He's not going to do that out here at Santa Anita. Just flies to the wire and gets the length score in the Oak Tree Derby, sent off at 5-2. Voyager's Quest and Early Colony will be second and third in the running. Lasting Approval goes his mile and a furlong in 1:50.4. All right, the big yellow ribbon, the main featured attraction Sunday afternoon. Fillies and mares on the grass at 1.25 miles, $500,000 in guaranteed purse money. And do we ever have a wild stretch run for you? Let's take a look, and then we'll go to the head-on and see what you think. Here's Trevor's call of the yellow ribbon.
Heel for the yellow ribbon, sent on their way to a perfect beginning. Quickest into side is La Suburbia. On the inside is Dance Design in the red cap. She's now picking up the running. Golden Arches on the extreme outside. Alongside of her comes Raya Fan in the pink sleeves, and Memories of Silver in the white cap down at the rail, prepared to take back off these leaders. The grey is Real Connection. Then we come back to Fanjika, and Squeak as last early on. Past the stands first time round, and Dance Design leading them by 1 length. In second is La Suburbia. Close up third comes Raya Fan, who's tugging away along strongly in third. Memories of Silver content to track them in fourth, 3.5 lengths off the leaders. Golden Arches on the outside of her. There's no pace on up here. They're just going along slowly. Real Connection racing back third last. Fanjika second last, and Squeak is content to trail them 10 lengths off the lead. They head to the three-quarter pole, and out on the lead, the Irish filly, Dance Design with Michael Kinane. Not in any hurry at all, leads them by 1 length. The long shot, La Suburbia, is tracing her in second, and then comes Raya Fan, a close-up third. Golden Arches keen to go on a tight hold on the outside. At the rail, Memories and Silver and Jerry Bailey, they starting to make progress now. Memories of Silver, the first one to move up a fraction, then back to Real Connection, Fanjika and Squeakers last, 8 off the leaders. Less than a half mile to go in the yellow ribbon, and it's still Dance Design leading them by 3/4 of a length. La Suburbia second. On the outside, Raya Fan now poised to make her run. Golden Arches, those the one that's keen to go on, and Golden Arches going to come to pounce now on the outside in the white. Memories of Silver down at the rail, need somewhere to run, then Fanjika. They come to the top of the lane. On the inside, it's Dance Design. Dance Design now tackled by a wall of horses. Golden Arches, Memories of Silver did not get through. On the extreme outside, Fanjika and Raya Fan. Raya Fan now kicked away. Fanjika's out after her, but it's Raya Fan in full flight for the wire, and Raya Fan and Alex Solis have won the yellow ribbon from Fanjika. Memories.
Well, all right, let's look at the head-on a couple of times for you now. First of all, that's Dance Design, the Dermot Weld entrant that was leading the pack around. And there you see Jerry Bailey. There's the opening, and he tries to put Memories of Silver through that opening. And Mike Kinane says, sorry, pal, I'm shutting you off big time. And just a terrible collision there. And fortunately, neither horse nor rider went down there. Raya Fan actually might have put Dance Design and Mike Kinane in a little tight there. The stewards looked at it for an awful long time and decided that the opening was there momentarily, that Bailey tried to get through on Memories of Silver and just couldn't get through, so they leave the result as they finished. Raya Fan, Fanjika, and Memories of Silver. A ribbon for Raya Fan, her 4th in a row. This 3-year-old daughter of Leah Fan, trained by John Gosden, was sent off at 5-2 and gets the win. Fanjika second. Memories, you got to think if Bailey gets through the rail there on Memories of Silver, she wins the race. Boy, Jerry really taking a shot there, but he's race riding. You can't say that he's faint-hearted one little bit. Raya Fan, the victor, in 2 minutes, 3 3/5 of a second in a rock and rollin' yellow ribbon Santa Anita. Dance Design, incidentally, as we told you last week, was preempted for the turf and the distaff. I don't know if Dermot Weld wants to run her back on 6 days rest, but he's done stranger things. Let's see what happens when we get the post positions a little bit later on. All right, we'll take our second break here. When we come out the break, we've got our Aqueduct action. Go back to last Friday and bring you right up through the traditional Election Day race. And we got another big feature, the special feature from down under, the Foster's Melbourne Cup from Tuesday in Australia. And then we'll do some Breeders' Cup talking. Don't go away. Much more to come. Be right back after this.
Racing fans, shoot for the moon in the Breeders' Cup Pick 6. Pick the winners of 6 consecutive Breeders' Cup Championship races at Hollywood Park on Saturday, November 8th. Don't miss your shot at racing's only multi-million-dollar pool. The payoff could be out of this world. Play Breeders' Cup Pick 6, Saturday, November 8th. Get in and win.
The New York Bred Incentive Program is making headlines in thoroughbred racing with purses and awards of more than $30 million up for grabs. New York Breds are in demand at the sales and on the track. Millionaires like Stroop Stakes winner Victory Speech, 2-time Saratoga Cup champ Le Carriere, as well as Breeders' Cup Excelsior winner Ormsby, all proof positive that New York breeds the best. Contact the New York Breeding and Development Fund for more information on how you can get your share of the $30 million New York Bred Incentive Program.
All right, go back to Friday afternoon of last week down at Aqueduct. We've got 2-year-olds in the Pilgrim Stakes at a mile and a furlong on the grass. $100,000, the added purse monies. Let's take a look. Here's John Imbrial's call of the Pilgrim.
Have Cryptic Rascal to catch. He's in front by a length and a half. Stablemate Shake Rattle is running in second. East of Easy is third. On the inside is a Daddy's Dream. Then American Odyssey recommended a list and Doc Martin, but Cryptic Rascal has a 4.5 length lead. Shake Rattle is second. Recommended list moves to third. Then it's East of Easy. It will be Cryptic Rascal to win the Pilgrim.
Cryptic Rascal, Mike Smith in the irons, gets a 3-length score. Billy Badgett has got a nice one here. Boy, they couldn't wait and get this guy on the grass. He broke his maiden last time out by 11 lengths on the grass. Now, how do you suppose they knew to run this son of Crypto Clearance on the grass? Well, his half-brother is none other than Benny the Dip, who won the Epsom Derby this year over in England. So obviously they needed to get this guy in the grass as soon as they could. He was floundering around in a couple of starts Saratoga on the dirt, and Badgett said, enough of this. An 11-length score, maiden score, and then now a stakes winner, and the rest of his career is going to be on the grass for sure. Cryptic Rascal, Mike Smith doing the race riding honors. Shake Rattle, the other part of Badgett's entry, finishing in the second spot, so a nice Friday for trainer Bill Badgett. Recommended list, Fred Hooper is a runner, trained by Jim Pacou, won the stake last time out down in New York. Best he can do is settle for the show money. Cryptic Rascal, making his half-brother proud, goes the mile and a furlong Friday on the Aqueduct lawn in 1:50.4. All right, well, the rains did not spare New York either over the weekend. The Knickerbocker Handicap on Saturday afternoon was scheduled for the grass at a mile and a furlong, but washed out. Sloppy main track. It's $100,000 in added purse money, tons of scratches, so a very abbreviated field here. Let's take a look again. Here's John's call of the Knickerbocker.
That is in front now by 3 lengths. Tamid is second. On the extreme outside there is Dixie Bayou. Then it's Out of My Way Man. They come down the stretch and move for the 8th pole. Sir Cat in front, 2.5 lengths. Tamid is second. Then Dixie Bayou. They come for the finish line, and it will be the favorite, Sir Cat, to win by 3. Tamid was second. Out of My Way Man came back to be third.
Sir Cat, Mike Smith, stakes winning double for Mike Friday and Saturday. Second off of a year layoff, was second last time, sent off at 3 to 5. Bill Mott gave this guy 1 year off, had some injury problems that had to be taken care of. Boy, comes back in fine fettle, probably needed the race last time in that second place finish, and rolls to a 3-length score on that dicey track Saturday afternoon. Tamid is second. Out of My Way Man will be the show horse. Sir Cat goes the mile and a furlong in 1:50 flat. All right, Sunday's Long Island handicap for fillies and mares, another casualty of Mother Nature over the weekend. Reduced in distance now from 1.5 miles to 1 3/8 as they have to do at Aqueduct. Now again, is John's call of the Long Island.
On the outside is Sweetsy, then Scenic Point. They turn for home. Sweet Sandra in front here now by 3 lengths. Sweetsy moves to second. Scenic Point on the outside. It's Sweet Sandra now joined on the outside by Sweetsy, and Scenic Point is third. Sweetsy alongside of Sweet Sandra, and Sweetsy takes the lead. Sweetsy will go on to victory here. She won it by 3.
Sweetsy for Rita Nash, a 3-length score, sent off at 9-1. Sure, we'll give her a ding, ding, $20.20. A New York bred is Sweetsy winning the Long Island. Sweet Sandra stole off to a nice, comfortable lead there, but Chavez had Sweet Sandra measured and runs her down in the stretch. But Sweet Sandra still gets the place money after a very nice effort. Scenic Point finishing in the show position 2, 16, and 3 with 1 3/8 in Sunday's Long Island. All right, the Turn Back the Alarm is the Election Day featured race at Aqueduct, 1 mile and a furlong, $75,000. The guaranteed purse. We've got our distaffers, and we've got, again, John Imbrial.
They're in the stretch. Radiant Megan under the whip. Mille Calates to challenge on the outside. It's Radiant Megan and Mille Calates. Mille Calates gets a short lead. Radiant Megan battling back on the inside. Mille Calates is in front. Radiant Megan is second. They come for the line. Mille Calates by a head.
Mille Calates a neck. Joe Bravo in the iron. Sent off the even money fave. This guy from the Perez Callejas barn has met much, much tougher during the season, and she gets the win here, fighting off Radiant Megan, who put up a very gallant stretch battle with Mille Calates. Shoop, always around for a minor part of it, gets the show money. Mille Calates winning a stake in 1:49.2. All right, that takes care of the North American racing action for this week. Every year down in Australia, the Foster's sponsors the Melbourne Cup, and this is the featured race of the season in Australia. They're going 2 miles for $2.25 million in purse monies there. Let's take a look at this year's running of the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Here's Dan Malecki in Flemington with the call.
Away they go. The gates have crashed back and the big one is underway. Ebony Grove immediately snagged back to the tail of the field with Count Shivers. Might and Power, one of the best to jump away with Marble Halls. Magnet Bay, Crying Game was up there in the early part. Likewise, Court of Honour. A little further out to Viali, and also Sunny Lane's going forward early. Linesman's a bit wide about midfield at the moment, but it is going forward in the race. Always Aloof was midfield. Wider out then was Sapio. Scrupulous getting back with Skybow along the inside of Doremus, and Ebony Grove is 2 lengths away at the tail. As they come down the straight the first time, and the leader is the favourite, and that is Might and Power. Crying Game is going up to second. Linesman is 3 out, but been hunted forward now. Marble Halls was over on the rails. Around him was the mare Sunny Lane, and then Court of Honour followed by Viali. Yo Brave was next on the inside. Around it was Sapio. A length further back than a Magnet Bay. They've got a circuit left to travel. Markham's about midfield on the rails. Always Aloof 3 deep on the outside of Arabian Story. Next on the inside was Grand Master. Bonsai Pipeline is 4 wide around Harbour Dews, Alpha, and Count Shivers on the rails. Then came Doremus. Alpha got a bit of a check there. Skybow is back to the rear of the field in between Ebony Grove, the fence, and Scrupulous out 3 wide. They've got 2,000 metres left to travel in the Cup now, and the leader is Might and Power. The favourite Might and Power by 2 lengths. Marble Halls racing with his mouth wide open on the inside. Crying Game goes around Linesman now. Crying Game gets to second. Linesman third. Fourth the inside Marble Halls. and then Court of Honour getting a nice run on the inside of Yobro. A length and a half further back than a Sunny Lane, around the outside of Viali, and on the rails was Markham. Then Magnet Bay went off the fence. Around it was Sapio, and out there 4 wide was Bonsai Pipeline, Grandmaster midfield on the rails. Then came Count Shivers. Winder out on the track there was Always Aloof, Arabian Story, the grey in the centre. A length further back in the field to Doremus, and then came Viali. A length and a half further back to Ebony Grove. Harbour Dews was about 6th last, but 3 wide. Alpha's back to 3rd last from Skybow, and Scrupulous at the tail of the field. They've got 1,200 left to travel, and Might and Power is the leader. He's 3/4 of a length in front of Crying Game. 2 lengths away, 3rd was Linesman. He's going up on the outside of Marble Halls. Just behind those was Court of Honour. Then came Viali, a length further back than a Harbour Dews. Over on the inside was Markham. Going forward, Yobro got to about 5th. Markham in between runners. Off the track was Sapio. Over on the inside, Grandmaster as they start to bunch up behind the leaders. It's Might and Power now being tackled by Linesman. A length and a half away, Yobro on the outside of Marble Halls now being called on. Around the outside, Sunny Lane, Sapio, and further back, Arabian Story. Linesman, he's putting the pressure on the turn. It's Might and Power, the inside end. Linesman together as they straighten up in the Foster's Melbourne Cup of 1997. And Might and Power, he got away again, the fave. He's a length in front. Linesman won't lay down. Grandmaster runs on, and here's Doremus. Doremus with a run. Then came Markham and Sapio. Might and Power, the leader. 250 to go. Doremus is after him. Might and Power led a length and a half to Doremus. Then Linesman. Might and Power, the leader. Doremus is coming at him. Doremus after Might and Power. Might and Power and Doremus, they hit it. Oh, it's close. Doremus lunged. Doremus lunged on the outside. Can he have done it a second time? It's a photo in the Melbourne Cup.
In an incredible race, Might and Power with Jim Cassidy in the irons goes wire to wire in a 2-mile effort here. Incredible. Gets the victory, 2nd win in a row. Doremus, who won this race in 1995, a furious late rush and just falls that head short there as we hang up the photo for you. Markham finishing 3rd on the line. An excellent day of sport in Australia on Tuesday for this year's running of the Foster's Melbourne Cup, won by Might and Power in the time of 3:18:1. Okay, that takes care of all of the replay action right up through Tuesday of this week. Now into our notes department and a look at this coming Saturday's 1997 Breeders' Cup Day at Hollywood Park. We've got the fields, the post positions for you with the morning line odds. We'll go over the bet types for you as well and give you a pick or two in each race. First of all, everything gets underway. The first Breeders' Cup race, the Juvenile Fillies, post time is 5 minutes of 2. Win, play, show, exacta, and trifecta wagering on all of the races. Superfecta wagering can be made on the sprint, the mile, the turf, and the classic. And we have pick 3 wagering as well on the races. So, boy, whatever you want, you've got it covered on the 7 championship races. All right, the Juvenile Fillies, which is not part of the pick 6. This is the race that they eliminated. Countess Diana drew post position 8, was installed as the 9-5 favorite. You got to beat her, and they're not. She's proven all year long that she's the best 2-year-old filly in training, and the best horse will win the Juvenile Fillies. 14 of them went to post, will be going to post. And incidentally, of the 94 horses that were pre-entered last week, only 77 have been drawn into post positions. We had told you at the top of the show about Formal Gold and everything. That was just the tip of the iceberg. We've lost horses left and right all week long here, and we're down to 77 horses that were drawn to post position order. Let's see if we have any late scratches come Saturday. The Tough Luck filly in the juveniles is Cariel, the local horse. Can't get any worse than this. She drew outside post 14, 20-1 long shot. Long shot worth looking at. Nancy's Glitter, the horse we've covered down at Florida. She drew post 11 and she is 20 to 1 also. I think she's a little better than that. But Countess Diana, indeed, the one to beat, and I don't think they're going to beat her. All right, the sprint, another wild race here. 14 of them are drawn into position here for the sprint. Exotic Wood drew the extreme outside, the kiss of death with McCarran, but was still given a 9-2 morning line odd. Lucas's horse Trafalgar is part of the mutual field with DeSormo at 20 to 1. We've got Track Gal, one of the other fillies in there with David Flores, 6 to 1. And drew post position 6. But everybody will be watching Pat Byrne again with Richter scale. He, of course, using Shane Sellers, the favorite at 3 to 1. And this horse turning back from the mile victory last start out down in New York. Going to be very, very tough to beat. Look for Richter scale to give Pat Byrne 2 for 2. The Distaff. The Distaff, we have 8 horses being drawn into post position order. We have two coupled entries here. Jewel Princess and Sharp Cat are coupled because they are owned by the same individual, the Thoroughbred Corporation. When is the last time you saw Sharp Cat win a Grade 1 race at 1 1/8? It hasn't happened. But nonetheless, they were installed the 8-5 favorite, Sharp Cat, and last year's champ, Jewel Princess. Hidden Lakes got it. Rich Migliori, John Kimmel. If you don't know how tough she was, just take a look at the Go for Juan Stakes from Saratoga this summer, and that's all you need to know about Hidden Lake. Asina and Agena, the other coupling in the Distaff, Bill Mott listed as 3 to 1. Hidden Lake at 9 to 5 in the Distaff. She should win it. The Breeders' Cup Mile, 12 of them going postward, and this is going to be a wild scramble in here. You know our 2 favorites, the El Gran Senors, Helmsman and El Angelo. That's our sentimental exacta in the race, but they're going to have to work cut out for them. Jerry is in here, and they made Jerry the second choice at 7 to 2. The favorite is the European Spinning World at 5 to 2 with Cash Asmussen. El Angelo is 12 to 1, drew post 5. Helmsman drew post 9 at 8 to 1. Spinning World drew post 3. How about Lucky Coin? 12 to 1. No respect at all. Drew post 4 with Robbie Davis. Come on, El Gran. You did it last year with Leader Justice. Let's see if either Helmsman or El Angelo can do it this year. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, the shortest field of the Breeders' Cup races, a very nice 8-horse field, and 8 is the number because Favorite Trick will go 8 for 8. He was installed the overwhelming 7 to 5 favorite. They're just not going to beat him. He is that good. Grand Slam, Lucas's horse is the second choice in the race at 5 to 2, coming off of that very impressive victory in New York last time when he ran down that very fast fractions and got the win in the Champagne. Grand Slam will be the second choice, and then Souvenir Copy, the West Coast horse, 3 to 1 will be the third choice. So Favorite Trick will win the Juvenile, giving Pat Byrne 3 Breeders' Cup wins and keeping this horse an 8 for 8 streak going into next year, his 3-year-old season. And boy, won't we have something to talk about there. Finally, I should say next to last is the Breeders' Cup Turf. Again, we have 12 horses going the 1.5 miles. Singspiel, all world. Remember, he won in Tokyo in November of '96, then won in Dubai this past March. He's won in Europe. Now he'll win in California. Little problem with his foot this week. They felt a little throbbing sensation, but trainer Michael Stout says he's done that before, no big deal. They've got to beat this guy. He's at the top of his game. If he can win on the sands of Dubai and in the land of the rising sun in Japan, he can win in Southern California. Singspiel, all world to win the 1.5-mile turf. Buddy Chris Clement has got flag down in here, 1.5 miles. He's going to have some pace, especially with some of the others in here. Maybe flag down can hit the board. He's at a very nice price at 12-1. Dance Design, who we just saw, was entered. Incredible. Dermot, well, what are you thinking of at 30-1? Drew post position 4. Awad is in here with Pat Day, drew post 2 at 10-1, and the German filly that we saw finish third in the Arc de Triomphe, Borgia, drew post 9 and was at 12-1. And finally, the $4 million Breeders' Cup Classic, 9 horses drawn to post position, but really it boils down to just a 2, 3, or 4 horse race. Honor Glide, a turf horse, all his career was jumped in here because they were looking for a smaller field. He's an automatic throwout. Taki Blizzard, another automatic throwout for Japan. Another throwout is Whiskey Wisdom. Never been this far and never, even though he's undefeated, faced this kind of horse. So you can whittle this field down to the guns of Skip Away, Touch Gold, Deputy Commander, and Berens. Those are your 4 horses that we're going to deal with in here. Berens, as we've been touting all week long, training sensational at Saratoga. Let's go with Berens to upset Skip Away with Touch Gold, if his foot is okay, and evidently it is, for the 3rd spot. So there's our look at the 1997 Breeders' Cup. Remember, everything gets underway at 5 minutes to 2. Aqueduct's first post, 11:15 on Saturday morning with their 6 races, and then we go right in to the Breeders' Cup action. We'll cover it all for you again next week on the program and take a look at each of these 7 championship races for this year out at Hollywood Park. It's going to be a fantastic day. Hope you enjoy it. That puts a cap on things for this week. As always, stay tuned right here to your OTB TV radio network station, where you get the most complete coverage in thoroughbred racing. Till next week, Jack Wolfeseder here. So long, everybody. Enjoy Breeders' Cup 97.
Actually, I make strawberry banana shake. Strawberries, bananas, orange juice. I bought many pairs of shoes, 13 in fact. I make fruit tarts and waffles. Most of these are summer shoes. And I got new brakes and new shocks. All this thanks to Dingo.
Capital District OTV is celebrating 25 years of service.
from the OTV studios, this is the Morning Line.